Next news. Breaking news from the White House.
First Lady Melania Trump just dropped a nuclear bomb on the fake news industrial complex, and folks, the left is absolutely losing their minds right now. In a rare and powerful statement from the White House, the First Lady came out swinging harder than we've ever seen her, completely demolishing the disgusting lies, trying to connect her to Jeffrey Epstein. But here's where it gets really interesting. She's not just playing defense anymore, she's threatening a $1 billion lawsuit against none other than Hunter Biden himself. That's right, the president's wife was about to drag the Biden crime family into court. Is this the moment that the tables finally turn? Now let me tell you why this matters to you and every patriotic American watching right now, because for years, the corrupt media establishment and their Democrat puppet masters have been spreading vicious lies about President Trump, his family, and anyone who dares to support the America First agenda. They've weaponized social media with fake images, fabricated stories, and coordinated smear campaigns designed to destroy reputations and undermine our duly elected president. You see, this is not just about Melania Trump. This is about whether the ruling class can continue to lie with impunity while regular Americans lose their jobs, their reputations, and their livelihoods for just speaking the truth. When Hunter Biden goes on a podcast and spews defamation about the First Lady of the United States, he's betting that Trumps won't fight back. Well, he's betting that the establishment will protect him like they always have. Well, folks, he bet wrong. A $1 billion lawsuit sends a message to every media outlet, every talking head, and every corrupt politician that the days of consequence-free character assassination are over. And speaking of being prepared for when the establishment comes after you, let me ask you something important. If a major disruption happened tomorrow, whether it's a supply chain collapse, civil unrest, or another manufactured crisis from the globalists, and you couldn't get to the store, how long could you actually last with what's in your house right now? Now be honest with yourself. If it's anything less than a month, you need to check out our friends at My Patriot Supply at preparewithgary.com. They're America's #1 preparedness company with over 3 million satisfied customers who refuse to be caught off guard. And right now, when you go to preparewithgary.com, their best-selling 4-week emergency food supply comes with an additional week of food for free. That's 5 weeks of security and peace of mind. So don't wait until the next crisis hits. The elites are always prepared, and you should be too. Go to preparewithgary.com right now and take control of your family's future. Now, here's what the mainstream media absolutely does not want you to focus on. First Lady Melania Trump was crystal clear. She laid out every lie and destroyed it with facts. She was never on Epstein's plane, never visited his island, and her name appears in 0 court documents, 0 depositions, 0 victim statements. She met Donald Trump by chance at a New York party in 1998. Epstein had nothing to do with it, and she's got the receipts to prove it. But what happened next? Well, she called for something that should make every deep state operative very, very nervous. And Matt Bailey was on the ground. He was in the room when it all went down, and he just filed this report for us moments after Melania took to the podium. So let's check in with Matt Bailey's report he just filed.
Hey everybody, Matt Bailey here at the White House. Just moments ago, First Lady Melania Trump came out to the Grand Foyer and made a statement, very, very rare for her to weigh in on matters of political weight. She made a statement disavowing any ties to the disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein, saying that she never knew him beyond being in the same social circles, same with Ghislaine Maxwell. And perhaps most noteworthy, not only did she ask for the attacks on her character to stop, she insisted that the victims should have their day in front of Congress and have their testimony entered into the congressional record. Now, we are in the process of trying to figure out if this statement, particularly the part about victims testifying in front of Congress, had the support of her husband, President Donald Trump, or if she had gone a little bit rogue in saying that and saying what she believed, because again, she is not someone who weighs in on political matters, and certainly not someone who would ever want to put herself in a position where she would be seeming to counter the message of President Trump. However, in recent days, we of course know that President Trump insists that the Epstein issue is a hoax. He fired Pam Bondi over her handling of the release of the Epstein files. That was a big part of the reason she was dismissed, and he insisted that we move past it. And here comes his own wife saying, no, we need the victims to testify in front of Congress. Very interesting day. I've reached out to the White House to see if they have, to the West Wing side of the White House, the president's press team, to see if they have any comment on the First Lady's speech today, her 5-minute announcement that she would like to disavow Jeffrey Epstein and that she would like the victims to testify. Again, a very strong statement from the First Lady. Have not heard back from the West Wing. We'll keep you posted if we do. In Washington, I'm Matt Bailey.
Matt Bailey filing that report for the Next News Network outside the West Wing. Thank you for that, Matthew. Now, Melania is not holding back in her rare public statement. Now she's unleashing her legal artillery to defend her reputation against the baseless accusations. Let's go right now to the First Lady and some of her remarks from the White House.
I met Epstein and had no knowledge of his criminal undertakings. Numerous fake images and statements about Epstein and me have been circulating on social media for years now. Be cautious about what you believe. These images and stories are completely false. I'm not a witness or a named witness in connection with any of Epstein's crimes. My name has never appeared in court documents, depositions, victim statements, or FBI interviews surrounding the Epstein matter. I have never had any knowledge of Epstein's abuse of his victims. I was never involved in any capacity. I was not a participant, was never on Epstein's plane, and never visited his private island. I have never been legally accused or convinced of a crime in connection with Epstein's sex trafficking, abuse of minors, and other repulsive behavior. The false smears about me from mean-spirited and politically motivated individuals and entities looking to cause damage to my good name, to gain financially and climb politically, must stop. My attorneys and I have fought these unfounded and baseless lies with success and will continue to maintain my sound reputation without hesitation. To date, several individuals and companies have been legally obligated to publicly apologize and return.
And that's not all. Having fiercely defended her name, Melania continues her offensive with more revelations, setting the record straight about her past and denouncing deceitful narratives. She came out swinging against the fake news, and she's fighting hard.
With the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today. The individuals lying about me are devoid of ethical standards, humility, and respect. I do not object to their ignorance, but rather I reject their mean-spirited attempts to defame my reputation. I never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties as Epstein from time to time, since overlapping in social circles is common in New York City and Palm Beach. To be clear, I never had a relationship with Epstein or his accomplice, Maxwell. My email reply to Maxwell cannot be categorized as anything more than casual correspondence. My polite reply to her email doesn't amount to anything more than a trivial note. I am not Epstein's victim. Epstein did not introduce me to Donald Trump. I met my husband by chance at a New York City party in 1998. This initial encounter with my husband is documented in a detail in my book, Melania.
Moving right along here, Melania is firmly dismantling the false myths. She's taken the fight to a new level against those who tarnish her legacy. Melania Trump now threatening to sue Hunter Biden for $1 billion if he doesn't retract his defamatory statements, attempting to link her to Epstein. Let's hear.
Introduced Melania to Trump. The connections are like so wide and deep. Anyway, why do we think they don't want the files released? I don't know. I think John, you know, that thing that John Heilman says is like a long time ago. I think is the most accurate kind of assessment of them, which is everything is projection or confession. Everything. So when he puts out that tweet, he says, Epstein now is the Russia hoax or the Hunter Biden laptop.
The laptop from hell, which the Democrats swore came from Russia. No, it came from Hunter Biden's bathroom.
Like, I wonder if it works. Do you know what I mean? When he...
So there you have just a little snippet there of Hunter Biden smearing Melania Trump, and now $1 billion lawsuit is on the line. I did not expect that today. Now here's the truth. The establishment is terrified that you will understand. First Lady Melania Trump didn't just defend herself. She called for Epstein's victims to testify before Congress. Think about that. If the Trumps had anything to hide, would they be demanding more transparency? Would they be pushing for more victims to go on the record? The answer is obvious. Meanwhile, Hunter Biden, the same guy who abandoned his laptop full of incriminating evidence, the same guy whose family has been neck deep in foreign corruption scandals, is out there making defamatory claims about the First Lady. Now he's facing $1 billion reckoning. This is what happens when patriots finally fight back. The projection, the lies, the desperate smear campaigns, they're all being exposed for exactly what they are. So we're witnessing something actually quite historic today. The First Lady of the United States is taking the fight directly to the corrupt establishment and their media lapdogs, and she's not backing down, she's not apologizing, and she's certainly not letting Hunter Biden and his ilk continue their defamation campaign without consequences. This is what America First looks like in action, telling the truth and making the liars pay. Now, I want to hear from you in the comments. Do you think Melania should follow through with that $1 billion lawsuit against Hunter Biden? Yes or no? Drop your answer in the comments and let's get the conversation going. And since you made it to the end of the video, congratulations. Here's a free gift from me to you. Text raw feed to 844-840-4963. That's how you and I maintain connection. When YouTube doesn't send you notifications, when the algorithm buries our videos under corporate lies, you and I will have a direct connection. I'll send you a text message with the videos that we publish at the end of the day, so you'll be able to get caught up on everything and you'll never miss the truth. So make sure you do share this video, though, with every patriot you know, because the mainstream media will never cover this story fairly. And don't forget to check out the Next News merch shelf below this video. Show your support for independent journalism. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and remember, stay informed and stay free.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this. Share this now.